Yo, what's good? What's good? Go New York, go New York Giants, go New York, go New York Giants. Also, shout out to the New York Knicks, man. You know what I mean? Hopefully they make, history. Hopefully they make history. It's like history to them. Um, you know who it is, your boy OGBazz, Day1NYGiantsFan. Shout out to all my Day One Giants fans, not the ones that put on Giants hats when we won, when we beat Tom Brady. You know what I mean? We the only team that beat Tom Brady, two that's undefeated against Tom Brady in the Super Bowl. Um, we gonna go over the OTA updates. You know what I mean? The OTA updates and everything that's going on in practice and stuff like that. We're gonna get into that. Um, it's just been great, you know what I mean? Getting OBJs, just and I'm excited about that. I can't lie. A lot of fans excited about that because we know what it is and we know what it was. We feel we got the best quarterback, you know what I mean? Like outside of Eli to be able to get the ball to um, OBJ, you know what I mean? Also with Barrios. And I like the Barrios his first year. You know what I'm saying? Like he's like he's like one of those in the slot, you know what I mean, receivers that's gonna get open. Edelman and all of that, you know what I'm saying? Juju Smith Schuster, I feel he still got a lot in the tank. So the OTA standouts and surprise performers. Um, One of the biggest stories from the Giants OTAs has been rookie quarterback Jaxson Dart. You know what I mean? Coaches and teammates continue praising his confidence, arm talent, and willingness to learn. While he's not expected to start immediately, he's showing flashes that he had fans excited about the future. Um, and now it's time. You know what I'm saying? I'm saying far as getting in the full reps and, everything and going from last year, you know what I mean? I feel he's going to start the year off real good. Other young players have taken advantage of increased reps due to veterans being eased into practice. Several depth receivers, defensive backs have made strong impressions and can force their way into the final roster. Continue giving the young players meaningful reps during training camp to identify hidden contributors before week one. You know what I mean? Because these people ain't getting it, and then they go somewhere and be great. The Giants' offensive line improvements. The Giants enter OTAs emphasizing protection and run blocking. The offensive line appears more organized with improved communication and fewer mental mistakes compared to previous years. The biggest goal is keeping the quarterback upright and creating more consistent rushing lanes. You know what I mean? The solution to that is health, for sure, and continuity will be critical. The Giants must keep the same starting five together as much as possible before the season starts. You know what I mean? That always been a big thing with the Giants. Even the quarterbacks we had, you know what I mean, from Daniel Jones. I always thought like Daniel Jones was nice. It's just that, you know what I mean, with that offensive line and people getting hurt, can't keep Andrew Thomas healthy for a full year. You know what I mean? It messed us up for a lot of years. So to hear that, um, to just look better, see that, hear that it look better, because on paper, of course, it looked great. I'm like, shit, it looks great. You know what I mean? But we need to see it when the season starts, and I'm here for it. The receiving competition, the receiver room remains one of the most interesting battles on the roster. Potential veteran additions: Odell Beckham Jr., Juju Smith-Schuster, Braxton Berrios continue generating discussion among fans. Meanwhile, younger receivers are competing for roster spots and trying to build chemistry with Jaxson Dart and the rest of the quarterback room. The solution is the Giants should let competition determine the depth chart rather than relying solely on veteran names. That's a fact. But the rookies, look, they got to step up. If the veteran names is still outworking them and and completing the plays, the mission, then it is what it is. Defensive depth concerns. While the defense has talent at the top, depth remains a concern. Injuries can quickly expose weaknesses at cornerback, linebacker, and defensive line. The Giants need young players to develop quickly and prove they can contribute when called upon. That's a fact. Add experienced depth before preseason if the right player becomes available. That's to do. You know what I mean? Like, come on, because we got one of the best divisions. The NFC East is the best division in the NFL right now. You know what I'm saying? I feel. You know what I mean? Like, you got the Philadelphia Eagles remain the championship contender. Washington Commanders continue improving. Dallas Cowboys remain loaded with talent. The Giants must improve significantly to compete constantly with the division. You know what I mean? Win division games, a strong NFC East record could be the difference between making and missing the playoffs. Yes, that's a whole fact. And that's a whole fact, and that's the main thing. That's the main thing. If we can't, do that, I don't know what to say. I don't know what to say with that. You have to make sure everybody is excited and, just waiting. It's like, okay, now, we know the players we got now. Because I want to do a season. I want to do the season record and everything, but I want to get closer to knowing what the roster is before and who's what, to know how to break it down. But from what I seen the first 8 games, I feel we could easily go 6-2. You know what I mean? So, all right. So, biggest Giants question. If training camp started tomorrow, you know what I mean? I just, with guys like being injured and stuff like that, it's crazy. But the current competition at quarterback is Jaxson Dart, QB1, Jameis Winston, QB2, Brandon Allen, QB3. You know what I mean? I see he got drafted, I believe. So I don't really know too much about Brandon Allen, but I'm looking forward to at least seeing, if he could become the number 2 quarterback, somewhere throughout the season. You know what I mean? Question, can Jaxson Dart take the next step and become a franchise quarterback? Absolutely. As long as he stayed, from them crazy slides and stuff like that, yes. This isn't really a starter and QB competition anymore. The Giants have committed to Dart as the starter. The battle is whether he can become a playoff caliber quarterback and how much Winston punches him in camp. Yeah, you got to punch the ticket. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's just pressuring him. You know what I mean? So we got the prediction at quarterback, which is Dart, Winston, Allen. All right, wide receiver battle, most competitive position right now. Malik Neighbors, Darius Slayton, Darnell Mooney, Calvin Austin III, which we picked up as a rookie. Jalen Hyatt. I don't know if Jalen will probably make the team because, like, he has, he has talent, but it just don't show you a lot of times he dropped passes that we actually needed as far as that he would have took the next step. Odell Beckham, definitely excited. Juju Smith, Schuster, Braxton Berrios, Malachi Fields. This is another rookie that I'm excited for. I believe he will be, I guess, as long as he can start training camp and start the beginning of the season, I think he will become the number 2 receiver, outside of Neighbors. I really believe so. And then, we'll switch it up. It's good to have these receivers, though. You know what I mean? Just in case. It just makes sense. The biggest question, can Hyatt avoid being passed on the depth chart? I don't think he can avoid it, but if he can, I would like to see. Does OBJ still have enough left? Absolutely. He just got to stay healthy as well. Got to stay healthy. Can rookie Malachi Fields force his way into the rotation? Yes, he can. I feel he could become, you know, the Robin to Malik Neighbors. I believe so. Does Barrios beat Austin for the return duties? I don't know. We haven't really seen Austin, so Austin come out and he's like tearing stuff up. You know what I mean? Then we can't give him the slot. You feel me? We can't give him that. If Austin is 10, just let him switch. That's all. They take turns, and let's see who gives the best opportunity. As far as for that position, it's always good having two. You know what I mean? As far as at that field, but far as at returning, it could be Neighbors, Slayton, Mooney, Fields, OBJ, Austin. They can all do it. But I don't know if I would put Slayton there. I'm not sure if I would do that. Offensive line battle. Likely starters: Andrew Thomas, John Michael Schmitz Jr., Francis Malaluga. That's our 10th pick rookie this year. You know what I mean? Hopefully he can make that work. You know what I mean? Us getting rid of Dexter Lawrence and being able to get him in that trade is definitely important for us. You know what I mean? To feel like we didn't, lose a key piece to our defense. Jermaine Illuminar. You know what I mean? This would be another step. He was definitely had good games, and the offensive line was showing progression, throughout like the second half of last season. It was just, they was definitely doing this. It's just about people staying healthy. Evan Neal. He played better, but Evan Neal, you got to be great because you was a number one pick for us, and you need to show that. You know what I mean? Right now, you've been showing like third round pick, vibes and stuff like that. Can Evan Neal finally become a reliable contributor? We are trying to see. The answer is the Giants need Neal to earn a role. If he struggles again, younger linemen could take his snaps. Francis Malaluga is expected to become a major part in the Giants' future up front. He better be. The defensive line. Defensive backfield. Corners. Paulson Adebo. Dante Banks, I gotta see. He gotta do better. Carlton Hood. Art Green. Nick Jones. Safeties, Tyler Newman. Javon Holland is names that I definitely want to see take the next step. You know what I mean? We lost Cordell Fly. I was like a Fly. I would have rather Dante Banks go, but Dante Banks definitely gotta step up. Special teams battle: Braxton Berrios, Calvin Austin III, Gunnar or Zowski. Montrell Washington. Ozowski, he was okay. You know what I mean? But I would want to see this battle with Braxton Berrios and Calvin Austin would be good. This may be one of the most underrated battles at camp. Austin and Berrios are currently battling for a roster spot and return duties. So I would like to see, you know what I mean? The prediction: kick returner, Calvin Austin III, punt returner, Braxton Berrios. And we good. You know what I mean? Let them share one and see how that goes. You understand what I'm saying? And see how that goes. Now, top 5 training camp story for day one. Giants fan: Jaxson Dart's development. Can he become a franchise quarterback? Yes. Malik Neighbors become an elite. Can he become a top 5 NFL receiver? Absolutely, if he's healthy. Odell Beckham return. Does OBJ make the final 53-man roster? Yes, if he's healthy, for sure. Uh, that's how I see it. Receiver battle. Who gets cut? Hyatt, Juju, Barrios, or someone else? I think Hyatt is going to go. Dante Banks bounce back season. Can he finally become CB1? I don't know. I'm not sure. I'm hoping he does. For sure. And I really hope that this works. So for y'all, I'm gonna ask, make sure you hit the like button, subscribe button, hit the notification bell. You know what I mean? So you know when the videos is dropping. So this is the question for the panel. If you can only keep one veteran receiver, who are you taking? OBJ, Juju, or Braxton Berrios? Giants fans are going to be debating that all summer. So let me know. Hit the like button. Also subscribe. Now tuned in to Day One Giants Fan. OTA updates. Giants must watch. You know what I mean? And let me know where you from. As a Day One Giants fan, put it in the comments. Like where you from, where you representing from, how long you been a Giants fan. So I appreciate y'all. Let's keep it going. Go New York Giants. Go New York Giants.